I brought the Ministry of Darkness back from the past and put them in modern WWE to see what kind of destruction they could cause. So let's see what happened. So we arrive at the first pay-per-view, Wrestlemania Backlash. You got Paul Bearer versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title, Karrion Kross versus Kane, even though he's not a part of the Ministry, and Taker versus Bray Wyatt. So in our first match, Seth Rollins curb stomps Paul Bearer into the mat, and Seth Rollins retains his title. I don't know why I'm surprised by that. The second match, Kane chokeslams Karrion Kross to get a win. So Kane, even though he's not a part of the Ministry, gets a win. The final match of this simulation, Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail's Undertaker 98, and Bray Wyatt gets a win. Taker might need a Howard Power to come and save him. The next pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. Ooh. Viscera is taking on Johnny Gargano. Motherfucking Midian, my man here, back. And he's going to take on Logan Paul. And Undertaker challenges for the undisputed title because losing equals title shots. Viscera ends up jobbing out to Johnny Gargano. Midian loses to Logan Paul, which isn't really surprising. And The Undertaker hits a tombstone piledriver onto Roman Reigns to become the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion. Our next pay-per-view is Money in the Bank. We got Bradshaw and Farouk of the Acolytes challenge Jimmy and Jey Uso for the undisputed championships, tag team championships. Bradshaw then hits a massive clothesline from hell, and actually, the Acolytes win. Good for them, I guess. Next, Undertaker is defending his undisputed title against the one and only Bray Wyatt. Their back and forth match. The Undertaker hits a tombstone piledriver onto Bray Wyatt to end him. Undertaker once again retains. And finally, for the Money in the Bank match, we have 3 Ministry members trying to vie for the briefcase. You got Viscera, Paul Bearer, and Mother effing Midian. Our boy Midian is here. And one of the dumbest things I think I've seen in this game, Paul Bearer grabs the stairs, he brings them in the ring, he drops them in front of the ladder, and for some reason he forgets how to knock over a ladder. So he's just standing in front of the ladder with the stairs in front of him. He can't move. This leads to Cody Rhodes winning the match. Cody Rhodes win the Money in the Bank briefcase because Paul Bearer is an idiot.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
So for the NXT brand, Undertaker decides to send The Brood, Gangrel, Edge, and Christian to NXT to capture as many titles as they can. So their first event is the NXT Great American Bash. First match, Gangrel challenges Braun Breaker for the NXT title. And shockingly and surprisingly, Gangrel hits the Gangrel drop and actually pins Braun Breaker. Gangrel becomes the new champion. Good for the Brood. Let's see if they can finish the story. In the main event, Edge and Christian of the Brood challenge the Creed brothers for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And somehow the Brood do it. I don't know. They hit it unprettier in an execution to the Creeds. And the Brood have captured every single title in NXT. Well, except the North American, but that doesn't count. Our first match is Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, taking on Big V Viscera. Somehow, Gunther is able to hit a big Northern Lights Emerald Fusion thing onto Viscera. But Paul Bearer distracts the referee and Gunther isn't able to get the count. Viscera rebounds with a big clothesline, but Ludwig Kaiser distracts Viscera long enough for Gunther to get up. Gunther locks on a rear naked choke and makes Viscera tap out. So Gunther retains the Intercontinental Championship as Paul Bearer is disappointed once again. In the main event, Kane. It's brother versus brother. Kane versus The Undertaker for the undisputed WWE Championship. After a hard-fought bout between these two demonic brothers of hell, Kane actually wins with a chokeslam and becomes the new undisputed champion. Undertaker is infuriated about this L, and rather than blaming himself, he decides to blame Midian. Not even Paul Bearer, he blames Midian. So he tombstones Midian in the back and kicks Midian out of the Ministry because he's just a crybaby bitch. After Midian's exiting of the Ministry of Darkness, we move on to Clash at the Castle. The Ministry looks to have a big night tonight, as the first match we have is Viscera challenging Gunther for the Intercontinental title inside of a steel cage because Adam Pearce was pissed off that there was more interference than a Roman Reigns match. So we're having a rematch in a cage to make sure a winner is actually legit. Something in my life that I thought I'd never ever see, but Viscera is able to climb the cage, and not only climb the cage, he actually escapes the entire damn thing. The 300, 450 pound guy climbs the entire cage, gets to the top, and gets down before Gunther can take him out. Viscera becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. Well, I mean, I guess he deserves it because he got that big-ass truckload dumpy. Wait, what? So in the main event, it's The Undertaker getting his rematch against his brother Kane. And at the climax of the match, we see the Big Show come out, hit a choke slam onto Kane. Undertaker then is able to get up, hits a tombstone piledriver onto Kane, and Undertaker has reclaimed his undisputed title thanks to the Big Show. And after the match, we see Big Show and Undertaker posing together, meaning that Big Show has now joined the Ministry. An unholy alliance, if you will. So after the success of Clash of the Castle for the Ministry, the boys of the Ministry basically take over the entire card of Extreme Rules. 4 different matches for the Ministry of Darkness, which is kind of wild. Bobby Lashley challenging Viscera, and Bobby Lashley somehow gets the Hurt Lock onto Viscera, I don't know how, and makes him pass out. Bobby Lashley wins the Intercontinental Championship. How sad. Viscera went through so much effort to win the damn thing, and Bobby Lashley just comes in and takes it. The next match is a Falls Count Anywhere match. Logan Paul, the United States Champion, defends against Paul Bearer, who at this point should probably just give up. I mean, there's no way he would actually win a match. Oh. What? Yeah, he actually won. He had a tombstone piledriver onto Logan Paul and actually won a championship. Oh, I've done it! I'm so proud of you! I'm so proud, Undertaker! Look how happy I am! The third match of the night is a Hell in a Cell match. Kane and The Undertaker are going to blow off their brother v brother fight inside of this demonic structure. Kane and Undertaker go to the top of the cage, because who doesn't in these matches? Kane grabs The Undertaker and sidewalk slams him through the entire cell. But Undertaker kicks out at 2, because of course he does. The boys decide to go back up to the top of the cell and continue fighting on it. And so The Undertaker just grabs Kane and throws him through the already broken hole, jumps down, pins him. Undertaker becomes the new Undisputed Championship, hopefully ending this rivalry once and for all. The main event is The Big Show, the newest member of the Ministry, taking on the World Heavyweight Champion, Shane McMahon. Hey, he's the best in the world, so give him some slack. Unfortunately, he didn't get enough because the Big Show just choke slams him and pins Shane McMahon. The Big Show has become the World Heavyweight Champion. The Unholy Alliance is on top. The Ministry is riding high, winning all the titles, except Viscera. He kind of lost. We don't talk about him. Actually, we'll go back to NXT for Halloween Havoc. And you know what's really scary? Vampires. Because Gangrel is defending his NXT Championship against Braun Breaker. And after a short little, quick, decent match, they go to the outside. Braun Breaker runs into the ring to get a countout victory onto Gangrel. And Braun Breaker wins by countout. But he doesn't realize that he can't win the fucking title on a countout. So, you know what, Braun? Fuck you. You don't get... if you're going to be that dumb, you don't get another title shot. So go kick rocks. So at the Survivor Series, we obviously have a War Games match. We'll get to that in a bit. Because Paul Bearer comes out and says, I will have an open challenge for the championship, and I don't care who comes out, they will not defeat me! And who comes out? It's Mother effing Midian with no clothes on and a fanny pack. Unfortunately, he doesn't win the match. But you know what? He came out there and he gave his best, so that's all that matters. And now it's time for War Games! We have Team Ministry versus Team Lashley. Undertaker, the Acolytes, and the Big Show, all champions, taking on the team of Bobby Lashley, the Intercontinental Champion, Alpha Academy for some reason, I don't know why, but they want to be champions too, and the former World Heavyweight Champion Shane McMahon. And after a hellacious War Games match, Team Non-Ministry wins, even though we don't get to see the pinfall because the camera guy is too focused on the Big Show. Chad Gable gets the pin on someone, and the Ministry lose despite having all the gold. Will there be dissension now? But before we get to the new year, we got one more show, NXT War Games, where it's a War Games match as the Brood, Christian, Edge, and Gangrel take on Legado del Fantasma. After another hellacious War Games match, Edge hits a spinning attack on the Santos and hits a spear and pins Santos Escobar. The Brood win again. God, the Brood are even better than the Ministry. What the hell? It's the beginning of the new year, and you know what that means. It's time for Another NXT Championship match. Gangrel, the champion, versus Ilya Dragunov, the challenger. Ilya just hits the torpedo, and that is the end. Ilya Dragunov has won because of Gangrel's stupidity. The tag team titles are on the line again as Christian and Edge, the champions, defend against Legado del Fantasma. And unfortunately for Edge and Christian, Cruz del Toro and who the fuck is the other guy? Joaquin Wilde? Yeah, Joaquin Wilde are the new tag team champions of NXT. Now it's time for the beginning of the end. It is the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. We have big matches planned. Our first one is for the World Heavyweight Championship as the Big Show defends against Brock Lesnar. After a hellacious fight between these two, Brock Lesnar hits an F5 to the Big Show, and Brock Lesnar wins the World Heavyweight Championship. Ministry down 1. The next match is Paul Bearer once again defending his United States Championship against Mideon. But wait, what the hell happened to him? It looks like he went to hell. Well, he kind of did. After the Survivor Series match, Undertaker got pissed off at Mideon, so he literally chokeslammed him straight into hell. And now Mideon is back as Undead Mideon, trying to get his revenge on the Ministry. Paul Bearer stood no chance against Undead Mideon, and Undead Mideon crushed him. Undead Mideon is now the new United States Champion. Third match. Wait, what the hell? There's so many matches. The Acolytes defend against RK Bro. Farouk hits a Dominator onto Matt Riddle, pin him. Acolytes are still the undisputed champions after all this time. Fourth match. Undertaker defends the undisputed title against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns goes for a spear, but then he gets caught in a tombstone pile driver. Undertaker retains the championship, and now we head into our main event. The Royal Rumble match. Unfortunately, none of the Ministry members made it even close to the end. So, the final 3 were Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, and Ivar. Ivar takes out Jey Uso, and then Drew McIntyre hoists Ivar onto his shoulders, throws him out. Drew McIntyre has won and is going to Wrestlemania for a championship opportunity. Before we get to Wrestlemania, we have to decide who's going to be the World Heavyweight Champion. We have the World Heavyweight Champion himself, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, Edge, Rey Mysterio, and Paul Bearer. Why is the Big Show not in the match? I don't know. The final 2 in this match are Brock Lesnar and Paul Bearer. And despite the fans and everyone behind Paul Bearer to win just to be, just for the comedy of it, unfortunately he doesn't. And Brock Lesnar retains his World Heavyweight Championship, and I'm sad and I want to cry because I really wanted Paul Bearer to be World Champion. I'm so sorry that I couldn't win! And now it's time for Wrestlemania! We got 4 matches. It's time for the Ministry to conclude its story arc. The first match is Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso challenging once again the Acolytes, who at this point are just tired of being a part of the Ministry and are now officially formed the APA. And of course, because they are the Acolytes, they win and retain their championships after pummeling the Usos. And Bradshaw and Farouk are like, you know what, screw you, Taker. We're done with the Ministry. We don't need this shit anymore. We can be champions for a year. So the Acolytes are out of the Ministry. The next contest is a triple threat match for the United States Championship as something bizarre happened. Mideon came out. So we're like, who's who? Which is the real Mideon? We don't know. But all we know is that there's a triple threat where Viscera is trying to win it back for the Ministry of Darkness. Viscera hits a V-bomb onto Naked Mideon, and then Undead Mideon comes with the stairs and hits Viscera in the back. Viscera rolls out of the ring. Undead Mideon goes for the cover as we see asshole, cock, and balls all in one. And Undead Mideon pins Naked Mideon to retain his US title. Our third match, Undertaker challenges Big E, who's the new undisputed champion. I don't know when he won it. He probably won on some random SmackDown against Taker. But regardless, Taker challenges Big E. And after a back and forth fight, Big E is able to hit the big ending on Undertaker. And despite Paul Bearer being in his corner, Undertaker unfortunately loses. Big E retains the championship. And after the match, Paul Bearer is like, I'm sorry, Undertaker. I can't believe you lost. So then Undertaker and then Tombstone pile drives poor Paul Bearer, leaves him in the ring. And now it's time for the main event. Brock Lesnar defends the World Heavyweight title against the Big Show again. And after a hellacious fight between these two, Big Show hits a KO blow to knock out Brock Lesnar, pin him, and Big Show becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. As the Ministry of Darkness has completely collapsed, Big Show is now the champion of the WWE. The Unholy Alliance is dead, the Ministry is dead, but Big Show is your world champion.